Chapter 6. Anne Shows a Temper. By the time school started, Anne and Diana were truly best friends. They did everything together. The way they went to school through the woods was pretty. Anne thought those walks to and from the Avonlea school with Diana were wonderful. Anne did well at school and soon found her place as the smartest in the class. I think I'm going to like school here, she thought. One day, as they walked to school together, Diana said, I guess Gilbert Blythe will be in school today. He's been away and only came home Saturday night. He's very handsome, and he teases the girls terribly, she added, as if she rather liked being teased. He's always the head of the class. You won't find it so easy to be first after this, Anne. I'm glad, said Anne quickly. I don't feel proud being first among little boys and girls. I came in first in spelling yesterday, even though Josie Pye was cheating. Those Pye girls are all cheaters. But look, there's Gilbert. Isn't he handsome? Gilbert was a tall boy with curly brown hair, brown eyes, and a mouth twisted up into a teasing smile. He turned and winked at Anne as he walked past her and into the school. He is handsome, agreed Anne. But I think he is very bold. It isn't good manners to wink at a strange girl. For the rest of the day, Gilbert Blythe tried to make Anne look at him again, but she wouldn't. She avoided him. But in the afternoon, when she was staring out the window and daydreaming, Gilbert reached across and picked up the end of Anne's long red braid and pulled it. Carrots, carrots, he whispered loudly. Anne looked straight at him. Then she did more than look. She jumped to her feet, her eyes sparkling with angry tears. You mean, hateful boy! How dare you! And then, thwack! Anne broke her writing board right over Gilbert's head. Avonlea School always loved a scene. Everyone said, "Oh!" and looked on in horrified delight. Diana gasped. The teacher, Mr. Phillips, walked over to Anne and laid his hand heavily on her shoulder. Anne Shirley, what does this mean? He asked angrily. Anne returned no answer. She would never tell the whole school that she had been called carrots. Then Gilbert spoke up. It was my fault, Mr. Phillips. I teased her. The teacher paid no attention to Gilbert. I'm sorry to see a pupil of mine show such a bad temper. Anne, go and stand in front of the blackboard for the rest of the afternoon. With a white, still face, she obeyed. Anne would have rather been whipped. Mr. Phillips wrote in chalk on the blackboard above her head. Anne Shirley must learn to control her temper, and then read it out loud to the class. Anne stood there for the rest of the afternoon. She did not cry or hang her head. She stared back angrily at both Diana's sad look and Josie Pye's mean smile. As for Gilbert Blythe, she would not even look at him. She would never look at him again. She would never speak to him. When school was over, Anne marched out with her red head held high. Gilbert tried to stop her at the door. I'm sorry I made fun of your hair. Please don't be mad for keeps, he whispered. Anne swept by without look or sign of hearing. I shall never forgive Gilbert Blythe, she told Diana as they walked home together. He has hurt my feelings terribly, and Mr. Phillips spelled my name without an E, too. I have made up my mind. I'm not coming back to school any more. Diana gasped and stared at Anne to see if she meant it. Will Marilla let you stay home? She asked. "She'll have to," said Anne. "I'll never go to school to that man again." "Oh, Anne, just think of all the fun you'll miss. Do come back." Diana looked as if she were ready to cry. Marilla and Matthew heard the whole story when Anne got home. "Don't be silly. You'll go to school tomorrow as usual," insisted Marilla. But Anne's mind was made up. "I'm not going back. I'll learn my lessons at home and be as good as I can be, but I will not go back to school." "From what I hear, that Mr. Phillips isn't any good at all as a teacher," said Matthew kindly. So Marilla and Matthew decided to let Anne stay home. She learned her lessons and did her jobs and played with Diana in the evenings. But when she met Gilbert Blythe on the road or at church, she passed him by with icy anger. He tried to be kind, but Anne had made up her mind to hate Gilbert until the end of her life.